Recording. Stop recording. Button.
Hi, my name is Melissa. Welcome to video 3 of my series on using iOS devices with VoiceOver. Today I'm going to go back into the VoiceOver settings and talk about the rest of the VoiceOver settings that we haven't talked about. We've talked about the area in the VoiceOver settings where you can practice VoiceOver, and we've also talked about the VoiceOver rotor. But today we're going to cover the rest of the settings. So if you will please go to your home screen by pushing your home button or by pressing Control Option H, which is VO H. Remember, the Control and Option keys are the modifiers for VoiceOver. So when I say VO, you push the Control and the Option key plus the command. So to go to the home screen using the keyboard, you would press VO H. And once you're in the home screen, if you're on the screen, you would swipe from from left to right across the screen until you locate the Settings app, and you would double tap that to open it. If you are using the keyboard, you would use your VO right arrow until you locate the Settings app, and then you would do a VO spacebar, and that'll double tap to open the app. Once you're in the Settings app on the screen, you would swipe from left to right across the screen until you locate the general category, and I would like you to double tap to open that, please. If you're using the keyboard, you would do VO right arrow until you locate the general category. Double tap to open that, please. Once as you're in the general category, I would like you to swipe from left to right until you locate the accessibility category, and I would like you to double tap that, please. And once as you're in accessibility, of course, if you're using the keyboard, you would do the VO right arrow. On the screen, you would continue swiping from left to right until you locate VoiceOver. Then either double tap to open that or do a VO spacebar. Once as you're in the accessibility VoiceOver category, I would like to go through these settings with you. So let me just
try again. Passcode. Try again. Tuesday. Press home to unlock. Try again. Passcode field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
just typing in my passcode here.
Settings. Accessibility.
And we're in the VoiceOver settings now. So I'm going to swipe from left to right and go through these options with you.
VoiceOver. Heading. VoiceOver. On. VoiceOver speaks items on the screen. Tap once to double tap. Swipe 3. VoiceOver Practice.
The first area is the VoiceOver Practice, and you can double tap to open this. This would be where you would go to practice voiceover gestures as well as typing and keyboard help. And if you remember, we discussed this in the first video.
Speaking rate.
The next option is your speaking rate.
Speaking rate. 50%. Adjust.
And you would use your
Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
Your finger to swipe up and down to adjust the value of the speaking rate.
40%.
So if you go down, you would go to 40.
30%.
If you go down again, you would go to 30.
40%.
If you go up again, you will go to 40.
50%.
If you go up again, you will go to 50. So every time you swipe up and down, you will go up and down 10 increments at a time. So this is a good way to be able to change your speech rate.
Speech. Button. Verbosity. Speech. Button.
And then I'm going to tap on the speech button.
Speech. Heading. Voice. Samantha.
And in the speech category is where you would locate the voices you have different voice options on your iOS devices. So swipe from left to right. The first one's Samantha.
Pronunciations. Button.
And
Pitch. Heading.
if you wanted to, you could double tap on that, and that would bring up another list of voices. So, and then the next,
Pronunciations. Voice. Samantha. Pronunciations.
then you have pronunciations. You could double tap this button and you can type a word in the edit field and the pronunciation that you would like for it. So you would type the word and then the pronunciation, and that would be the pronunciation that the iPad would pronounce the word with.
Pitch. Heading.
Then you have your pitch, and
Pitch. 50%.
again, you would swipe up and down to adjust the pitch. So if you swiped
60%.
up, you would go to 60%. That's where I'm at.
50%.
Down, for example, you could go to 50. So every time you swipe up, you'll go up 10%. Every time you swipe down, you'll go down 10%.
Use pitch change. On.
Then there's an option that says use pitch change on, and this is if something's capitalized. The pitch will go up a little bit higher, so you'll be able to tell.
Rotor languages. Heading. Add new language. Button.
The next one is for rotor languages, and there's an add new language button. So if you're using another language besides English, you would double tap to add this language.
Add new language. Button. Add new language. Button. Rotor. Use pit. Voiceover. Back button. Speech. Verbosity. Button.
The next, so I went back, I swiped left until I located the back button, then I double tapped that. Now we're back in the main voiceover settings. The next one would be verbosity. If I swipe from left to right,
Braille. Button. Verbosity.
I'm going to double tap on that one.
Voiceover. Back button. Verbosity. Speak hints. On.
And this is where you can, the first option under verbosity is speak hints. And this is when you're interacting with certain items on the screen. VoiceOver will speak hints that give you an idea of how to activate or interact with the item. For example, if you have hints on, it might say double tap to activate, or it might tell you that you're in a slider and you need to drag your finger, different things like that.
Punctuation. Sum. Button.
The next one is punctuation, and this allows you to change how much punctuation you hear VoiceOver tell you. I have mine set on some. You can do some. Let's see.
Verbosity. Back button. Punctuation. Heading.
I double tap punctuation.
All.
You have all,
Selected. Some.
some,
None.
or none. And I have mine on some. I'm going to swipe back to the back button.
All. Punctuation. Heading. Verbosity. Back button. Punctuation.
Okay, I'm out of the
Some.
punctuation. Continuing on through the verbosity.
Speak detected text. On.
We have speak detected
Double tap to
text.
toggle setting.
And what this allows you to do is if there's any text available in an image, it will speak it. So it might, if you're focused on a picture, it might tell you a person outdoors if they're outside, or it'll just give you an audio description of the image.
Determines whether automatically detected text in the focused item is spoken.
And it determines whether automatic text is available in the spoken item. So if you want to hear the text echoed and a description of the item, then turn this on. If you don't, then turn it off.
Capital letters. Speak cap. Button.
The next option is speak cap, and you would double tap this option. This option will speak cap before something is capitalized in VoiceOver.
Deleting text. button.
The next option is deleting text, change pitch, and this option allows VoiceOver to change the pitch when deleting text. So you'll be able to hear that there's a pitch change and you'll know that you're deleting something.
Embedded links. Speak button.
This option is embedded links, and what it does is it speaks embedded links in text. So it would say link. So that way you know that there's a link there, and this is a button if you want to activate it.
Table output. Heading.
The next option is table output, and these are all in the
Speak hints. On. Punctuation. Speak determines whether
these are
automatically capital
all
letters.
in the verbosity category of
Change
VoiceOver.
pitch. Embedded links. Table output. Heading. Table headers. On.
So the next one's headers, so it
Double
would
tap to
read
toggle setting.
headers in a table,
Row and column numbers.
then row and column numbers.
Determines whether this information is output when navigating tables. Emoji suffix. Off.
Emoji suffix, this would read the word emoji before an emoji in text. Now if this option's off, it will still read the emoji, but it will not say the word emoji.
Speaks the word emoji when emoji are read in text content. Media descriptions. Off. Button.
Media descriptions, this is for like closed caption.
Determines how closed captions plus STH are output during media playback. Determines how closed captions plus STH
And
are output. Determines 340 verbosity. Heading. Verbosity. Heading.
I'm gonna go back.
Speak hints. On. Verbosity. Heading. Voiceover. Voiceover. Back button.
That's all of the ones in verbosity.
Voiceover. Voiceover. Voiceover speak side. Tap. Double. Swipe. Voice. Speak. Speaking rate. Speech. Verbosity. Braille. Button.
The next option is Braille. I'm gonna double tap that.
Selected. Voiceover. Back button. Braille. Output. 8 dot. Button.
This is output 8 dot, and this is if you're using a Braille display, so this would be the Braille that you would read.
Input. 6 dot. Button.
And the input would be 6 dot, so this would be the Braille that you're typing.
Braille screen input. 6 dot. Button. Status cells. Button.
Then you have your status cells.
Equations use Nemeth code. On.
Equations use Nemeth code, so
Double
this
tap to
is
toggle
like
setting.
math, and you would use Nemeth code.
Show on screen keyboard. Off.
Show on screen
Double
keyboard
tap
is
to
turned
toggle
off.
setting. Turn pages when panning. On.
Turn pages when panning
While
is
reading
on.
content, panning to the end of content will automatically turn the page.
So when you're moving to the end of content, the page will automatically turn when you're panning. When you're panning, that means you're moving through the document on your Braille display.
Word wrap. On. Braille code. English. Unified.
Word wrap
Button.
on. This means that once as you get to the end of a word, it'll put the rest of the word on the next line.
Alert display duration. Braille code. English. Unified.
Braille code, English Unified. This is, of course, for the English Braille code.
Alert display duration. 3S. Button.
Alert display duration is 3 seconds.
Choose a Braille display.
And then the next option would be to choose a Braille display. And when you go in here, it'll automatically search one. I don't have one at the moment hooked to my, or paired to my phone, so it's not going to show one.
Braille. Heading. Braille. Heading. Braille. Heading. Braille. Heading. Voiceover. Back button.
I'm going to go back.
Braille. Button. Audio. Button. Rotor. Button. Audio. Button.
The
Voiceover.
next option
Back button.
in your VoiceOver settings is audio.
Audio. Heading. Mute sound effects. Off.
The first option's
Double
mute
tap
sound
to toggle
effects. This
setting.
is off.
Audio ducking. On.
The next option is
Double tap
audio
to toggle
ducking,
setting.
and I have this on. It's so, say you're listening to a movie or some music or something, and you have VoiceOver going, it ducks the sound of whatever you're listening to under the VoiceOver so that you can still hear your screen reader.
Auto
auto select speaker
Double tap
and
to
call.
change setting.
This is when you're talking on your phone and you move the phone away from your ear, it will automatically switch to speakerphone. This is a toggle, so you double tap to turn it on and off.
During audio calls. During audio calls.
We're going to go back.
Mute sound. Audio. Voiceover. Back button. During audio. Auto select. Audio. Mute sound. Audio. Voiceover. Back button. Audio. Rotor. Button.
The next one is Rotor, and we already talked about those in the Rotor video. You can go in there and customize a different option for your Rotor.
Rotor Actions. Button.
The next one's Rotor Actions, and we talked about that in the previous video as well.
Typing style. Standard typing. Button.
The next one is Typing Style, and I have mine set on standard.
Voiceover. Back button. Typing selected. Standard touch typing.
Then there's touch typing so standard typing is where you can swipe from left to right across the screen until you locate a letter, and then hold your finger on it and then tap the screen with another finger. Or what I do is I just move my finger along the bottom half of the screen where the keyboard's located until I find the letter that I want to type, and then I touch it with another finger. You can also do touch typing, which is where you would just type on the screen basically just like you would on a keyboard. This is very hard for me to do,
Screen dim.
and then there's also you can also Bluetooth a wireless keyboard to your
Direct touch typing. Direct touch typing.
to your device, and then you can type on your device with the wireless keyboard. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. I'm going to talk about Bluetoothing your keyboard as well as some more of the VoiceOver keyboard commands. So that'll be all for this video. I would like you to dismiss the Settings app. To do this with your screen, you would double tap the home button twice quickly.
App switcher. Settings.
This brings up the app switcher, and
Swipe up with 3 fingers
then
to
you
close
would
the app.
swipe up with 3 fingers to close the app.
Mail. No.
On the keyboard, you would do a Vo H H H, and this would bring up the app switcher, and you would do Vo up arrow and then a double tap, and that will your Vo space bar, and that will close the app. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching.
Stop record.